the support of XML file, alias name, property file, and etc. Only the advantage is application.properties you need not to configure separately. It will be configured automatically or not. Okay, guys. It will be configured automatically or not, guys. Super boss. Okay. Let it be, my dear. Now, after that, we discussed about importance of the layered application, and we decided to develop our mini project as a layered application, guys. What is the problem of keeping multiple logic in a single class or single file? It's like a bachelor room. Okay. Multiple logics are mixed up. No clean separation between logics, right? Code looks very clumsy or not, guys? The modification done in one layer logic affects what? Other layer logics. Agree with me, guys? The modification done in one layer logic affects what? Other layer logic. Next one. Hmm. Maintenance and enhancement of the project what? Very complex. Parallel development is not possible, so code become no productivity. Is it the industry standard to develop the real projects, guys? No. To overcome these problems, we have to take the support of what? Layered application. Nothing but MVC architecture. What do you mean by layered application? Keeping different logics in different classes or files, making them talking with each other is nothing but what? Layered application. Most of the projects in what? Hmm. Most of the projects in real time will be developed as what? Layered application. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. Right. So other day we have seen the advantages of layered application. Okay, developing project as layered application is like dealing with the 3 BHK or 4 BHK flat or not, guys? Simply dealing with what? 3 BHK or 4 BHK flat. Okay, number one. What is number one? Different logics will be placed in what? Different layers. So we can, different classes are file. Clean separation between logics is possible. The modification done in one layer definitely affects what? Other layer. Are you getting my point there or not there? Code is not clumsy. Modification done in one layer does not disturb other layer logic. Maintenance and enhancement of the project becomes what? Easy. The maintenance and what? Enhancement of the project becomes what? Easy. Okay, next one. The maintenance and enhancement of the project. Parallel development is possible for different programmers. We can give different logics to develop, guys. So we can say parallel development is possible or not, guys. Super, guys. Next, it is industry standard because everyone in the industry try to develop the projects as what? Layered applications. No doubt, they prefer developing them as what? Layered application. Comfortable or not, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. So let it be, guys. Now we have something called, let me open the document first. What's the advantage of developing layered applications in Spring, guys? In Spring, every layer class can be taken as one Spring Bean. Multiple classes can be taken as multiple Spring Beans. Come on. Okay, loading of those classes, creation of those class objects, injecting one object with what? Another object. All these operations will be taken care by who? Framework only, na boss. All these operations will be taken care by whom, guys? Framework or not, guys? Come on. So that what happens, guys? If you develop layered application using Spring, you need not to worry about loading classes, creating objects, injecting one object with another object. All these operations will be taken care by IOC container now. Typically, how many layers we see in a standalone layered application? DAO class having persistence logic, service class having business logic, controller class having monitoring logic, client application having, okay, client application having presentation logic. Okay, if I make these classes as Spring Bean, DAO will be, object will be created, inject to service. Service class object is created and injected to controller. Controller class object we can gather in client application by calling what? CTX dot get bean method or not, guys? What method, my dear? CTX dot get bean method. We can happily use CTX dot get bean method for that purpose or not, guys? Okay, let it be, my dear. Okay, now let's see how to implement this concept practically, right? Okay, paint here, open this. Online students, am I loud and clear? Please let me know. Where are the people, guys? Why strength is reducing day to day? Any festival is there today? Any exam is there? IPL, ah? Okay, right. This is 515 Spring Boot Core. This is 515 Spring Boot Core. Tell me next one. Session 6. Not this, na? Spring Boot Core. What is yesterday's one, guys? Another example on solving ambiguity problem, having 100 this one, guys. Which IPL team you support? Okay. That is the next interview question, na? Hmm. That's why I should answer, right? Hmm. Fine. Yeah. Okay, guys. Tell me, guys. Could not resolve the placeholder engine.id. Could not resolve the placeholder engine.id. Guys, give me 1 minute. Hello. చెప్పండి. అర్థం కాదు. అంటే క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ ఏదో చేసిన. ఓకే. ఓకే. వన్ డే వెయిట్ చేయాలి. సరే సరే సరే. Yeah, now listen. We are keeping different logics in different layers. Layers are nothing but classes, and we are making them in communication, right? If you take them as spring beans, loading classes, creating object, assigning one object with another object, all these operations are taken care by IOC container. But the challenge over here is The most important challenge over here is, come on, okay. The most important challenge over here is how to pass data between these layers. Right. I hope everyone watched Java Bean videos. If less than, if values are less than or equal to 3, right? If values are what? Less than or equal to 3, we can pass one class to another class as method arguments. More than 3 means designing method having parameters more than 3 is a bad practice. Yes, na boss? In that situation, better to put all those values in a Java class object and better to pass that object from one class to another class or not, guys. From one class to what? Another class or not, guys. I want reply from you people, guys. Come on, everyone. It's better to pass them from one class to another class. Okay, guys. Now let's see what we can do here. Java Bean is a Java class that contains what? Getter setter methods. Setter methods are useful to set or modify data of what? Bean properties. Getter methods are useful to read data from what? Bean properties. While sending more than 3 values between classes of application or what? Project, we try to send them in the form of what? Single object. Nothing but what? Java Bean class object. We try to send in the form of what? Single object. Nothing but what, guys? Java Bean class object. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. While sending more than 3 values between the classes of application or project, we try to send them in the form of what? Single object called Java Bean class object. Come on. Since each Java Bean class object holds some data to carry, what data to carry? So it is called model class because model means what? Data. We always use a Java Bean as helper class in project or application development to pass multiple values from one class to another class of different layers of the different layers yeah, uh, from one class to another class of different layers in the form of what? Objects. Okay, now listen, everyone please concentrate. You take a bank boss, clerk, manager, cashier, loan department person. They sit in their seats na boss. But to carry files from one of person to one employee to another employee, one office boy will be there. Yes or no? Na? Java Bean is like that office boy. This clerk, manager, cashier, loan department person, all these are like what? Classes of the layered application. Main classes of the layered application. To carry data, to carry files, to carry items from one employee to another employee. Office staff will be there. Office boys will be there. Okay, they are like office boys, right? Point to be noted. So another point, guys. Another point to concentrate is you have gone outside. You purchased 10 items. You want to carry 10 items, but can you carry 10 items individually? No. You'll purchase one bag and you will put all the 10 items in that bag, guys. Come on. You'll purchase 10 items and you'll put all the 10 items in that bag, guys. Come on. And you will move the bag from one place to another place. So you are feeling you are moving one item, that is bag, but in that one 10 items are there now, boss. Similarly, in layered application, the data between the layers, nothing but classes, will not be moved in the form of what? Method argument if there are more than 3 values. We take the support of Java Bean, we put multiple values in Java Bean class object, and we pass data in the form of what? Java Bean class object. We simply pass data in the form of what, guys? Java Bean class object. Are you getting my point there, guys? That is the life in everywhere, guys. Check it out. Inputs what I want to pass is SN, S name, SADD, M1, M2, M3. Why are you not passing student number? Or I want to generate student number dynamically, Rabab. During registration of students, student number will be generated dynamically, na? When you open the bank account number will be generated dynamically, na boss? Come on. Okay, right. Inputs, SN name, SADD, M1, M2, M3. See guys, client application sends these three inputs in the form of what? Model class object, nothing but Java bean class object now boss. So because Java bean guys, I have to design method in controller class having one param or five params. One param that is Java bean type, but that one parameter is a Java class object. That's why it internally holds five values or not there. That's why it internally holds five values or not, guys. Come on, everyone. Now tell me. Controller class needs to pass those five values to service class in which we place what? Java bean business logic. Come on. Again, we pass as model class object. Service also passes those inputs generated output to the DAO class in the form of again model class object na boss. Come on. Yes. Okay. This DAO class sends and execute the SQL query in database software or not, guys? Sends and execute the SQL query in database software or not, guys? Come on, everyone. Yeah. Once queries are executed, okay. Once queries are executed, database software gives. Database software gives SQL query results back to what? DAO class. DAO class gives them to whom? Service class. Service class gives them to whom? Controller class. Controller class gives them to what? Client apply. Suppose results are more than one, more than two, more than three. Again, we take the support of another Java bean class object, nothing but another model class object to pass the result from where? DAO to service, service to controller, controller to what? Client application. So final conclusion is what? Between two classes or among the multiple classes, if you want to pass max of three values, you design the method having three parameters. If you want to pass more than three values, okay, you pass five values, 10 value, 20 value, 100 value, but you pass them as what? Java bean class object. There are only two items to carry from outside the home to home. Hold two items in two hands, come to home. If there are three items, four items to hold, we purchase a bag, we put them in the bag, and we carry the bag or not, guys. Okay, it looks like everyone thinks that you are carrying one bag, but that one bag is having what? Four items, five items, six items or not, guys. From client application to controller, it looks like you are passing one Java bean class object having some data. It looks like one object, but in that one object, multiple values are there or not there, guys. In that one object, multiple values are there or not there, guys. In that one item, multiple values are there or not there. Come on. Okay, guys. Yeah, client application passes multiple values to controller class in the form of Java bean class object representing inputs. Controller will pass those inputs to service class again in the form of Java bean class object. Okay, Java bean uses those inputs, executes the logic, generates some outputs na boss. These inputs and outputs together goes to a DAO class for saving in database or storing in database, again in the form of Java bean class object. This DAO will send those details to whom? Database software in the form of SQL query input. Query executes in database software. Come on. Some results come. Those results will come back to what? DAO class. If results are one to as a normal return value will come, but more and more results are there. Again, they will be kept in what? Another Java bean class object passes to service. Service will pass them to what? Controller in the form of Java bean class object. Controller will pass them to what? Client application in the form of what? Java bean class object. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. Yes, here is my what logic, guys? Presentation. Here is my what logic, guys? Presentation logic. Presentation logic. Here is my what logic, guys? Monitoring logic. Monitoring logics. Here is my what logics, my dear? What logic? Business laws. Here is my what logics, guys? What logics? Persistence logic. Here is my what logic? Persistence logic. Okay. Here is what? Data storage. Maintains this application data na DB table. Having DB tables having data. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Yes, guys. This is there. This is there. Comfortable, my dear? Come on, everyone. Yes. Okay. Model class object is nothing but Java bean class object. What is the input? SNO, SNAME, M1, M2, M3. Marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. Service class calculates what? Total and average. They will be saved. If more results are there, they will come. Output. Student registration success or failure information. Success or what? Failure information. Okay. Yeah. Here you look at this part first. Across the multiple projects, across the multiple layers of a project. Array, sometimes two projects wants to talk with each other. For example, Flipkart.com wants to pass credit or debit card details to whom, guys? PayPal. Okay. Now, this time about credit card details means only one information, set of 10 to 20 details. Credit card number, CVV, payment gateway, so many details will be there, right? So multiple detail. If you want to pass data between the layers of one project or between the layers of different projects, that to more than three values. So again, Java Bean comes into picture or not, guys? Within the project, more than three values, Java Bean. Across the multiple projects, more than three values, Java Bean. Java Bean is very powerful, boss, while passing data between what? Okay, projects are within the projects. Across the multiple projects, across the multiple layers of a project, if you want to pass more than three values, then we need to take the support of what? We take the support of Java Bean class object. That means we combine multiple values to single Java Bean class object and we send that object from one layer to another layer of the same project or different project. One layer to another layer of the same project or what? Different projects. Passing student info from client application to controller to service to DAO class in the form of student class object, nothing but Java Bean class object having multiple details is one example. Within a project, so serializable Java Bean is enough. Okay. Within a project, so not serializable Java Bean is enough. That means there is no need of what? Serialization on the Java bean. Is there any need of serialization of Java bean, guys? No. So non-serializable Java bean is enough or not, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. Non-serializable Java bean is enough. Passing credit card, debit card details from e-commerce project to PayPal project in the form of what? Java bean class object. Project to project over the network. So use what? Serializable Java bean. Simply take the support of what, guys? Serializable Java bean. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. So full and final conclusion is what, guys? If you want to pass more than three value within a project across the multiple layer Java bean, but that Java bean does not need to be a serializable object. But if you want to pass more than three values across the multiple projects over the network, we have to take Java bean. But we must take what? Serializable object or not, guys? We must and should take what? Serializable object or not, guys? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay, final conclusion is if you want to pass Java class object data over the network in the form of bits and bytes, you must take that Java class object as what? Serializable object. How does normal object become serializable object? Only when the class of that object implements what? Java.io dot serializable interface. Then it will do that work or not, guys? Okay, guys. Tell me. To send any Java class object over the network. Over the network. We must take what, guys? That object as the what, guys? Serializable object. We must take that object as the serializable object. What object, my dear? Serializable. To send any Java class object data over the network. Okay. Yeah. To make Java object as the serializable object, the class of the object must implement what, guys? Java.io dot serializable interface. What interface, guys? Serializable interface. Okay, now listen. Within the Flipkart.com website development, 10 layers are there. To pass multiple values within the Flipkart.com multiple layers, we can take Java bean na boss, but that can be non-serializable object. From Flipkart.com, I want to pass credit card details to PayPal. How many details? 10 details. So between PayPal project and Flipkart project, there will be a network. This time, 10 details I want to pass. Definitely Java bean I will take. Come on. But I am going to take that Java bean as serializable object or not. How does that Java bean automatically become serializable object? When we implement java.io.serializable interface, automatically the object becomes what? Serializable object or not, guys? What object, guys? Serializable object. Okay. So you got the, see, I'm launching point by point. Let me summarize what we discussed. Number one, what is the problem of keeping multiple logics in a single class? It's like a bachelor room, very bad. Then solution is what? Layered application. What are the layers? DAO class for persistence logic, data access object, guys. One per table generally. Service class for what? Business logic. Controller class for what? Monitoring logic. Client application contains presentation logic. Client application contains what? Presentation logic. Are you getting my point there, guys? Client application contains what? Presentation logic. Are you comfortable, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay. Different logics will be done by different this layered application. That is very clear. But now the question is, these layers need to give inputs, needs to send outputs. One to inputs means as a method parameter, output means as a method return value. But let us assume more than three inputs are required, more than three outputs are required. Then we need to bring Java Bean into picture or not, guys? We need to take the support of Java Bean or not, guys? For carrying inputs, one Java Bean, for carrying outputs, another Java Bean. So Java Bean always plays a helper role, a main role, boss. Huh? Helper role. In a bank project, clerk, manager, cashier are the main classes. One service class, one DAO class, other classes. But remaining all people looks like what? Supporting staff are not, guys. Helper people are not, guys. Come on, everyone. Super, guys. That's perfect. Yes. Okay, with this basics of layered application, we understood. What's the advantage of developing layered application in Spring Boot, guys? Layers means classes. If you make them as Spring Beans, come on, loading those classes, creating object, injecting one object with another object, everything will be taken care by what? IOC container. That amount of coding headache is not there in your brain or not there. Super. How, what kind of thing, guys? Come on. Creating DAO, service controller class object, assigning DAO to service to controller will be done by what? IOC container. What about client application? In client application, we create IOC container. We call ctx.getBean controller. Controller class object will come injected with what? Service. That will come having what? DAO. So everything will come ready-made to controller or not there. Super. Assigning DAO to service to controller fall under dependency injection. Client application calling ctx.getBean method and getting controller class object in which what is injected, guys? In which what is injected? I want reply, my dear. Service is injected. Inside the service, DAO injected. This comes under dependency lookup or not, guys? This comes under dependency lookup or not? I want reply, my dear. Come on, everyone. How many types of JDBC connection objects are there? How many types of JDBC connection? Okay, now why are you talking this one all of a sudden? DAO needs to talk with the database software. If you want to talk with the database software, most important thing is we need to establish connection with the database software. I want reply from you people. Come on, everyone. Yes, we need to have connection with what? Database software. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. We need a connection. Definitely, we need a connection. There are two types of JDBC connection. Number one, direct JDBC connection, created and managed by the programmer. He manually created that object and managed programmer. Next one is what, guys? Pooled connection. Yes, guys. Next one, pooled JDBC connections, guys. We don't create them. There is a connection pool which is maintaining what? Set of JDBC connection objects. Are you getting my point there? There is a connection pool managing what? Set of readily available connection objects. Okay, by default, whatever size, if you suppose you take connection pool, max size is 100, max of 100 object, initial size is 10. The moment connection pool is created, 10 connection objects will be there. What's the advantage? Okay, at a time, 2, 3 operations you want to do on database software. Okay, instead of creating them manually, two connection objects from connection pool will be collected. They will be used to talk with the database software, and all persistence operations will take place or not, guys. So ready-made connection objects will be there in JDBC connection pool or not, guys. Say something, my dear. I want reply from you people. Come on, everyone. Direct JDBC connection, pooled JDBC connection, created by the programmer manually. Class dot for name connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. The connection object that is created over here is direct JDBC connection object, pooled connection object. It is the connection object that is gathered from JDBC connection pool through data source object. Look at this connection pool having set of readily available connection objects. Who is representing this connection pool? Data source object. Who is representing this connection pool, guys? Data source object. Data source object represents JDBC connection pool. Are you getting my point there, guys? Okay. How to get each connection object from connection pool, guys? Connection con is equal to ds dot get connection. Driver manager dot get connection gives me direct connection manually created. DS is what? Data source, representing what? Connection pool. By calling ds dot get connection, we can get each connection object from connection pool or not, guys? We can get each connection object from connection pool or not, guys? Come on, everyone. Minimum pool size, maximum pool size, and other params can be configured by the programmers while creating what? JDBC connection pool. Listen, what is the advantage of what? JDBC connection pool. Initial pool size is 10, max is 100. Okay. So what happens, guys? By using these 100 connection objects, I can make 1,000 application or 1,000 operations of each application talking to database software or not, guys. That means with the minimum number of JDBC connection objects, we can make maximum clients or maximum applications talking to database software. We can make maximum clients or maximum applications talking to database software. I hope you are understanding my statement, guys. Come on, everyone. Okay, next one. You will get reusability for JDBC connection objects. Say something, my dear. Reusability for JDBC connection objects will come. Okay. One connection object can be used to fulfill multiple operations. First connection object to perform insert operation. After some time, same connection object can be used to perform select operation. After some time, same connection object can be used to perform delete operations, guys. Everyone getting my point there or not there? Come on, everyone. Super. Okay. Data source object represents what? JDBC connection pool. What are the advantages of JDBC connection pool? You will get reusability of connection object. With the minimum connection objects, we can perform maximum persistence operation, locating and interacting with the database software. Super, guys. Tell me next one. What's the advantage of it? What's another advantage of it, guys? Creation of connection, managing connection, destroying connection will be taken care by, what was? Will be taken care by JDBC connection pool internally. As a programmer, you are least bothered about it. Yes, na boss? Okay, in industry projects, are we prefer direct connection object or pooled connection object? Pooled connection object. And when someone says I keep ready-made connection object, who will create manually, Rababu? I'll take one real life example. Daily I'm conducting 4 sessions to Naresh IT. Right? Let us assume offline, online together. Each batch of 300, 400 students are there. 4 into 3, okay, 1200 students are there. Naresh IT said, every student to bring their own chair before coming to class, while coming to class, right? Total how many chairs should be arranged, guys? 1200 chairs. One chair, one student. Total how many chairs should be arranged? 1200 chairs. Okay, purchasing 1200 chairs, that too for one season batches. After 6 months, another season batches will start. Again, they need to purchase 1200 chairs now, boss. Come on, my dear. If this continues, by instead of conducting classes, I can open one furniture shop in front of Naresh IT or not, guys? Yes or no, na? But what management said, hey student, you don't purchase. In each room, we are arranging 400 chairs maximum. Okay? 400 chairs maximum. Using those 400 chairs, we can give service to what? We can give service to what? All the students are not, guys. Say something, my dear. I want reply. We can give service to all those students. What do you say, guys? Come on, I want reply from you people. We can happily give service to all those students or not, guys? Come on, I want reply from you people. So that means each chair is having reusability. One chair per day giving service to 4 batches of my classes only. If other faculty is also using this room, it may give service to 6 students, 7 students per day. That means there is a reusability for chairs. Come on. Then number two, with a minimum number of chairs, we can give service to maximum number of students. By purchasing 400 chairs in a annum, we can give service to what? 3,000, 4,000 students or not, guys? Come on, I want reply, my dear. Come on. Okay, connection object is reusable with a minimum chair. Now tell me. Purchasing chair, managing chair, removing unused chair, adding more chairs when more students come, removing chairs when less students are there. Will be done by students, will be done by Naresh IT admin staff. Naresh IT admin staff. You are least bothered about doing that work or not, guys? You are least bothered about doing that work or not, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. Yeah. These are important parameters of JDBC. Minimum size or initial size 10. Let us assume 10. You don't use, by default 10 connection objects will be there. Max size 1000. It can grow up to 1000 connection objects. Connection timeout. Okay. It will see whether connection object is used or not for 100 seconds. If it is max time, that pool waits to give connection object before throwing timeout error. Before throwing what error? Before throwing timeout error, how much time it waits? That's a big question or not, guys? You ask a connection pool, give me one connection object. All connection objects are busy. It has already reached to maximum size. It will wait for 100 seconds. If we are able to supply within 100 seconds, fine and good. If it is not able to supply within 100 seconds, it will throw the error. That is called connection timeout. Next, max idle timeout. If any connection object is continuously idle for 60 seconds, it will be removed from the connection pool. Shrink frequency. Every 2000 seconds, it will check, are there any idle connection objects or not? If any idle connection objects are there, they will be destroyed. Are there any idle connection objects are there or not there? If any idle connection objects are there, they will be destroyed. Are you getting my point there or not there? So final conclusion is these are the parameters. Shrink frequency. Okay. Minimum chairs 15. Maximum chairs 400. Okay. Connection timeout. Room is busy, all chairs are occupied. Student came, asked for a chair. After waiting for what? timeout period. Okay, classroom gives the error. Sorry, boss, today you don't have chair. Right? Max idle timeout. If any chair is idle continuously for what? 60 seconds, it will be removed from connection pool. Okay. Every 2000 second, someone will come and check are there any idle chairs or not. If there, they will be removed. That is called sync frequency. What guys? Sync frequency. Connection pool is a internally what and JVM memory level set of objects pass. But who represent that connection pool? Data source object represents that connection. Who represents that connection pool, guys? Data source object represents that connection pool or not, guys? Yes, boss. Gives the reusability of connection objects. With minimum connection objects, we can make multiple requests or client application talking to database software, creating new connection objects, managing them, removing idle connection objects will be taken care by whom? JDBC connection pool itself. So no burden on the programmer. Is there any burden on the programmer, guys? Any kind of burden on the programmer, guys? Come on, I want reply, boss. What is JDBC connection pool that you have used in your project? There are two types of JDBC connection pool, guys. Come on, everyone. Standalone JDBC connection pool. Other one is what? Server managed JDBC connection pool. One is standalone, other one is what? Server managed. Suitable in standalone applications. C3P0, Hikari CP, Proxul, Apache DBCP2, Vibur. These are the, come on, standalone JDBC connection pools are not, guys. These are the standalone JDBC connection pools are not, guys. I want reply, my dear. Super. Other side, what is there? Server managed JDBC connection pool. Suitable in web application, distributed application, enterprise application that are deployable in what? Servers. That are deployable in the servers. Are you getting my point there or not? Are a standalone. But what is the best? Hikari CP is the best. Suppose your application is deployable in the server, web application, distributed application, web server or application. Servers also giving connection pool support, guys. Then better to use what? Server managed JDBC connection pool or not, guys? Come on. Every web server or application server, okay, gives built-in JDBC connection pool support. What support, guys? Built-in JDBC connection pool support. So better to use JDBC connection pool, that JDBC connection pool in deployed application, web applications and what? Distributed application. Tomcat managed JDBC connection pool, WebLogic managed JDBC connection pool, Wildfly managed JDBC connection pool, and etc. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. Super, guys. Tell me here. Pool means set of same item. It gives reusability of same items or not, guys. Cache means set of different item. It gives reusability of different items or not, guys. Set of same items. Cache means set of different item. Okay, now listen. Internal cache. You'll be having one bean object or different bean objects. Set of different items. Okay. Right. Pool means set of same item. JDBC connection pool. All are connection object. JDBC connection pool for Oracle mean all are connection objects, all are same connection object talking to same Oracle database software. JDBC connection pool for MySQL means what? All are connection objects, All of them are what? Talking to same MySQL database software. Pool means set of same item, gives the reusability of same item. Cache means set of different item, gives the reusability of what? Different item. Okay, guys. So final conclusion is what? If your project is standalone project, prefer standalone connection pool, which is a third party software. Best is Ikari CP. CP means connection pool. Your project is deployable in web server or application server, right? Like web application, distributed application, which are deployable in the servers, guys. Then prefer working with what? Server managed connection pool. Are you getting my point there, guys? Note, Spring Boot application gives Hikari CP as the built-in JDBC connection pool through auto configuration process. What process, guys? If we add JDBC JPA related starters to the build path of the project, simply to the build path of the project. Spring boot starter JDBC, Spring boot starter JPA. So if you add these starters, boss, okay, you will automatically get Hikari CP data source object pointing to connection pool or not, guys? Super. When these two are, any one starter is added, then we get Hikari CP data source object pointing to JDBC connection pool automatically as a Spring Bean through auto configuration process. So there is no need of taking @bean methods or not, guys. That means here one predefined class is becoming what? Spring Bean automatically based on the starters we have added or not, guys. So is there any need of @bean method here? There is no need of Ikari data source is a predefined class. If you want to make predefined class as a Spring Bean in Spring Boot application where XML is not entertained, generally we should use @bean method, my dear. But am I going to use it? No. Do I need to use it? No. Why? When we add the starters, some classes are automatically becoming Spring Beans, na boss? Hikari data source is becoming Spring Bean the moment we add starters to the project or not, guys. So this is the basic advantage that is there with what? Spring Boot or not, guys. This is the basic advantage we are having or not, guys. Come on, everyone. Okay. In Spring Boot application, we can work with all types of standalone JDBC connection pool, all kinds of server managed connection pool. But in Spring Boot application, we get Hikari CP based JDBC connection pool automatically through auto configuration process because Hikari data source object become Spring Bean through auto configuration process. Are you getting my point? The above said standalone connection pool and server managed connection pool can be used in both what? Spring Boot application and what? Non-Spring and Spring Boot application. But right now we bothered about what? Right now we bothered about what? Spring application. Okay, now you see the next query. What is the mostly used JDBC connection pool or data source in our Spring Boot application? Hikari CP represented Hikari data source object because its performance and its ability to come as what? Spring Bean through auto configuration in Spring Boot applications. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Because of portability, ability to move the code, advantage, we prefer standalone connection pool like Ikari CP in both standalone and web application. See, guys, generally in web application, we deploy in server. Server is having connection pool support. We can use that. But what's the problem, you know? To use a Tomcat server connection pool, Tomcat server related configuration. To use a connection pool in other server configuration, which will change server to server. Suppose if I use a Ikari CP kind of standalone connection pool, no server level configuration. If I move the application from one server to another server, one machine to another machine, same code will give connection pool na boss. That's the reason nowadays in web applications also, distributed applications also, we are preferring to work with what? Standalone connection pool. That means Hikari CP is a super hit connection pool in standalone application, web application, distributed application. Everywhere we prefer working with what guys? Hikari CP. Initially, I said what in web application, distributed application, don't you can use a server managed connection pool, but server managed connection pool is server specific, right? Server to server, its configuration changes. If I move my website or web application from one server to another server, accordingly configurations will change or not, guys? Say something, my dear. Accordingly, configurations will change or not, guys? Accordingly, configurations will change or not? I want reply, my dear. If I use Ikari CP kind of standalone connection pool, which is coming through auto configuration by just adding jar. Okay. If I move my application one machine to another machine, same thing continue. One server to another server, same thing continue. So portability will be advantage or not, guys? That's why Hikari CP kind of standalone connection pool is very popular in the projects or not, my dear? Okay, what is the difference between pool and cache? Cache is also called what? Buffer. Server managed connection pool configurations will change server to server. So we don't prefer this connection pool even in the web application, distributed application that are deployable in the web servers or application servers. That are deployable in the web servers or what? Application servers. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. What is the difference between pool and cache? Pool means set of same items. That means gives reusability of same items or not, guys. Cache or buffer means what? Set of different items. That means gives reusability of different items or not, guys. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Pool means set of same item. Cache means set of different item. Gives the reusability of same item. Gives the reusability of different item. To implement this, use list collection or a set of same item. We have to use such memory which allows duplicate. In list, we can keep the duplicates or not, guys. List collection, jdbc connection pool. To implement this, use map collection, internal cache of IOC container. Why map collection? Different items means different keys also should be there now, boss. Are different to identify different item. Every item should have a key should be there. That's why here we are going for what? Caching. Here we are going for what? Caching. Okay, guys. Pool and cache. Yeah. Now listen. Some more points I want to add, guys. JDBC, all the connection objects in connection pool represents connectivity with the same database software. Represents connectivity with what? Same database software. One connection object of Oracle, one connection object of MySQL will not be there. If there, that is called cache. But right now I'm using which wording? Connection pool. So, okay, you take a website. 1 lakh people are using website simultaneously. They're trying to do different persistence operation. For every persistence operation, one connection object is required now, boss. I have taken connection pool with 1,000 to 2,000 connection objects. Then what happens, guys? Even though 1 lakh people are doing a lot of persistence operations on database software through website, this connection pool will supply the connection objects or not, guys? Because of that, performance will increase or not, guys? But every time I am creating connection object manually before using it, it is going to consume a lot of time. It's going to waste a lot of time. Come on, I want reply from you people. Come on. So that's why we should prefer working with what? Connection pool. All the connection objects in connection pool. What, guys? All the connection objects in the JDBC connection pool represents what is there? Connectivity with the same database software. That means each connection object represent connectivity with what? Same database software. Are you getting my point there, guys? Yeah. Example. JDBC connection pool for Oracle means all the JDBC connection objects in that JDBC connection pool represent connectivity with the same, what, guys? Same Oracle database software. Same Oracle database software. Yeah. JDBC connection pool for MySQL means all the JDBC connection objects in that connection pool represents connectivity with what? Same MySQL database software. What do you say, guys? Come on, everyone. JDBC connection pool for PostgreSQL mean all the connection objects in that connection pool represents connectivity with same, what is there, guys? Represent connectivity with same PostgreSQL database software. PostgreSQL database software. Convinced with me, my dear? Come on, everyone. Yeah. Yes, my dear. Here is my data source object. Here is my data source object. Here is my. Array, listen. Data source object represents JDBC connection pool. All operation on JDBC connection pool will be done through data source object. To create new connection objects in connection pool, to destroy existing objects from connection pool, to access existing objects from connection pool, to increase number of connection object, to decrease number of connection objects, any activity on the connection pool will be done by data source object. We don't inject connection pool, guys. We inject data source object to DAO. So what happens, guys? Whenever I want one connection object, we ask data source object, give me one connection object. You are using data source object means you are indirectly using JDBC connection pool. You are indirectly using what? JDBC connection pool. Super, guys. Tell me here, what is this? JDBC connection pool for Oracle. JDBC connection pool for JDBC connection pool for MySQL. JDBC connection pool for MySQL. JDBC connection pool for PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL. Yeah, tell me here. This is my data source object. This is my another data source object. This is my data source object. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Connection. Here is what? Connection. Connection. Here is what? Connection. Connection, guys. Connection. 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 Okay, not compulsory everywhere. Four only should be there. Any numbers can be there, guys. Any numbers can. Yes, my dear. This is my connection. This is my connection. This is my connection. This is my connection. Yes, guys. Connection, connection, connection. Yes. Here is my what? Another connection. Connection. This is my data source object representing JDBC connection. Another data source object representing JDBC connection. This is another data source object representing JDBC connection. Everyone getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Yes, guys. Here also connection objects, na boss? Right. Connection, guys. Here is what? Connection. Here is what? Connection. Yes, guys. Hmm. Yeah, tell me. Data source object represents. Data source object represents JDBC connection pool for JDBC connection pool. That means each and every operation on JDBC connection pool can be done through data source object. What object, guys? Can be done through data source object. Each and every operation on data source object can be done through data source object. Everyone getting my point there, guys? Okay. Like getting getting access to existing connection objects, creating new JDBC connection objects, managing the JDBC connection objects. Okay. Okay. Closing the JDBC connection objects and etc. operations can be done using through data source object or not, guys? Can be done simply by using data source object or not, guys? Everyone convinced with me, my dear? Come on. Okay. Yeah, when I use the word data source object, it is the object of a class. When it's the object of a class that implements Java X.SQL data source interface. Data source object means it is the object of a class that implements Java X dot what dot SQL dot what interface, guys? Data source interface, directly or indirect, directly or indirectly. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay, guys. Now tell me. In Spring Boot applications, in Spring Boot application, we can we can take data source object as Spring Bean and can be injected to what, guys? Can be injected to DAO class object by uh, by using at the rate auto wide annotation or not, guys? At the rate auto wide annotation, and DAO class uses that injected data source object. What object? That injected data source object. That injected data source object to get JDBC connection objects from, to get what, guys? JDBC connection objects from JDBC connection. To simply get JDBC connection objects from JDBC connection pool. Convinced, my dear? Got the point, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay. I hope you understood, guys. Okay. In the business method, in the methods that perform persistence operations. What operations, guys? In the method that perform persistence operation. That's great, guys. Here is what is there. Chat GPT, no. Yeah, let me upload the notes. Yeah, tomorrow. Today, what I introduce? Java Bean role and connection pool, and how data source will be representing connection pool, and how Hikari CP is best, right? Okay, tomorrow when we meet, we will see all the things together at once and we'll start the coding of the application. Each layer I will introduce and I will code. Again, another layer I introduce, I will code. Don't miss the mini project discussion. Tomorrow onwards, next 3-4 days, very, very crucial. Who creates a JDBC connection pool? Okay, IOC container creates by seeing the information from application.property file, right? In fact, data source only creates. While creating connection objects mean data source only responsible to create a pool, to create connection objects in that pool, to add more connection, to remove existing connection, to give access to existing connection. Everything will be taken care by whom, guys? Data source. So how it get credentials? Okay, in properties file, or we have, while creating data source object, you have to supply all those things. If it is Spring Boot, it is coming automatically, na? So it will collect from application.properties file. In connection, in Spring Boot applications, okay, no, but in Spring Boot applications, the Hikari data source object will be created through what process? Auto configuration process. What process, guys? Through auto configuration process, pointing to what is this? JDBC connection. Pointing to what, guys? JDBC connection pool. Okay. Yeah. it gets jdbc driver details to create those jdbc connection objects. Come on. Okay, why Spring Data JPA set to default connection pool Hikari CP? Sridhar, why? That's the best. That's why they are using. They need to give one or other connection pool as a default one. I already said Hikari CP's performance is good. That's why they have taken it as what? Default. Yeah. uh, it gets JDBC driver details to get those JDBC connection objects. Uh, it gets JDBC driver details from application dot properties file. What file, guys? Property file to create those JDBC connection objects in the JDBC connection pool. Are you getting my point there, guys? Yeah. First it observes start trees there are there. It becomes ready to become Hikari data source object as Spring Bean through auto configuration. But Hikari data source object has to represent one connection pool. To create connection objects in connection pool, it collects the entries from where, guys? Application dot properties file. It simply collects the entries from where, guys? Application dot properties file. Is that clear, my dear? Come on, everyone. Super, guys. Come here. Where is this? 7 a.m. Okay. Where is this? Spring Boot microservices. Huh? 5:30 p.m. Am I right? This one. Yes. Spring Boot core. Yeah. Don't miss next few session. Okay. Background preparation is 50% completed. Remaining background preparation come plus coding will happen tomorrow onwards. So please don't miss the classes. Very, very mini project where whatever concepts we learned so far, including all those concepts, we are going to develop this mini project. Let me save the document, guys. Here I am saving the document. Let me save the document, guys. Sir, CSK or RCB? Siva, Siva. Okay, my statement on cricket, 11 players will pay, 11,000 fools will watch. Okay, and I think you are super fool in that 11,000. Focus on subject, ra. Okay, Dhoni earning money at the age of 43 also. Okay, and you are a youngster, still no job, and you are worried about CSK na RCB. Yeah. Will they give job to you, or will they give food for you? Come on, guys. They excelled in their professional life. That's why they are settled in life. You are not excelled in your career. You have not excelled in your engineering, right? So please focus on that. Don't mix up your entertainment and professional life, my dear. Okay, session 6, huh? Yeah, session 6. Thank you. Fine. Could not resolve placeholder. Karthikeyan, you are getting this error means either you are giving wrong ID. No, session 7, no. In session 6 document only we studied today, right? We updated little bit of the document. Yeah, you are getting this error means either you are giving wrong bean ID or you forgot to write at the rate import resource. At the rate import resource or application.property file is not properly placed. In property file, the prop unknown property warning. Array, when you write user defined keys, definitely warning will come. Just ignore it. Karthikeyan, unknown properties means yellow color will come, you can ignore them. That's not a big issue. Or you click on it, it will give some suggestion, add metadata. It will internally generate metadata, yellow mark will go off. But it's a warning. We don't bother about warnings. We worry about only errors, right? On cigarette box also warning will be there. But